that sees dreams made. It is a day that sees franchises change. It is Draft Day. The 2013 NHL Draft brings promise and hope.
Ultimately, the most important time of year for us.
For the Panthers, Lightning, Predators, and Hurricanes, it offers a chance at a transcendent star.
There's always the pressure to get it right. You always want to get it right.
These guys are the real deal, and they really help us get to where we need to go in a hurry.
I do believe that it's a can't miss this year.
The Colorado Avalanche have the first overall pick, then the South is on the clock as the Florida Panthers, Tampa Bay Lightning, Nashville Predators, and the Carolina Hurricanes have picks 2, 3, 4, and 5 respectively.
Driven 2013 NHL Draft. The South is on the clock. Presented locally by Cadillac.
This year's draft is very deep. It's one of the better drafts we've seen in the last, decade. So we're going to get a real solid player.
Draft for the Predators has always been our bread and butter. It's our go-to day, if you will. It's the primary way that we have built our team here in Nashville.
The top end of the draft is very good, probably those top 6, 7, maybe 8 players. So the fact that we pick 5th, we should get a player that can come in and make our team this year. And at some point in time will be an impact player, hopefully sooner than later.
Exciting players, very, very skilled group. Going beyond the 3rd pick, teams are going to get some tremendous prospects.
Nathan MacKinnon is a dynamic player. He's an explosive skater.
And speed kills, and Nathan's got speed to burn.
This is a player who's been in the spotlight for a long time and has always responded to that.
And there's no question he's an elite forward in this draft, and he's got a bright future ahead of him. Seth Jones is, a multi-dimensional defenseman.
When you meet him, he seems mature beyond his years.
A prototypical, big stud defenseman that everyone covets.
He can carry the puck up ice, make plays offensively, but he can also defend real well with that size and range and reach, so he's a terrific two-way defenseman.
Elias Lindholm is another one of those young players who's played up and played against men for a couple of years.
Very good in his own zone, very good offensively, competitive.
He delivers a consistent effort in terms of energy and effort every single night that he plays.
Alex Barkov is a terrific two-way player. Barkov is sort of a guy that not many people in North America know much about, but he's a very big, strong center.
He's a big man who has had a great year, very productive year playing against men.
Jonathan Drouin is a highly skilled player. He makes all the players around him better.
He's a very elusive, shifty, creative player.
He can make plays where even sitting up in the stands, sometimes you're saying to yourself, how did he even see that? This is it's the Stanley Cup for scouts.
The draft process is a very exciting process all year long. If you like hockey, you can't get a better job than getting paid to go watch hockey all year long, all around the world.
For the scouting staff, it's sort of the culmination of their work, and trying to get everything in the right order as we head into the draft.
It is one of the unique times in our franchise history that we've been able to pinpoint who we're gonna get, and any one of these guys, for our standard, is going to help this franchise going forward.
The process and the evaluation that goes into making that decision is pretty intense and pretty extensive.
Well, at the Combine, it starts off with the interview process, so you can do upwards of 20 players a day in 20-minute increments. What do you feel you do best as a player?
Jonathan, how long do you think before you're ready to play in the National Hockey League?
I think I could step in next year. I
think you could step in and play right away?
For sure. I think I've been getting better, bigger and stronger every year.
I think my intensity and my skating are two things that I need to bring every night to play well.
Our guys spend the whole year gathering information, and sometimes there's question marks within that information, and now's our opportunity to ask them.
All year you're ranked #1. Did that have any effect on you at all as far as the season ended?
Not really. Obviously I knew Scouts are going to be at every game I played and going to keep a close eye on me every step I took and every play I made.
We try to focus on drawing out their character and their personality.
So you had a great year.
Yeah,
Congratulations on Player of the Year. That's outstanding.
Thank you.
Yeah. What were your expectations going into the year? For what?
Not many expectations. You know, just play my game and whatever happens, happens. And obviously, it's a good year for me, and I'm pretty proud of that.
It's a really good opportunity where you can put a face and a body type and a body style and a personality to the name that you've been watching all year long.
Jonathan Tony McDowell.
That's me.
Glad to have you. Have a seat.
Chair right there, young man.
It's the hot seat.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations on a great year and fun finish, eh?
Great finish.
It's basically just trying to get a feel for the individual, you know, get to know a little bit about their families, about their backgrounds and such.
Just start off by telling us a little bit about your family and your upbringing and stuff like that.
Well, obviously you guys all know about my dad, probably. Played in the NBA for a long time. He's a coach now in the NBA. My mom, she lives in Dallas with my two brothers. That's where I live in the summers.
You just want to see what the personality of the kid is that you've been watching all this time.
To be really involved and be close to the puck is something I feel I need to do to play well.
Thanks for coming. Good luck. Thank you.
Coming up, the clubs set their draft boards and lay out their plans for the upcoming draft.
You really have to zero in on this decision.
That's our top four. What's the correct order for the top four?
Driven 2013 NHL Draft, The South is on the Clock, is presented locally by Cadillac. The all-new Cadillac ATS, setting the standard in every corner on Earth. Welcome back to Driven 2013 NHL Draft, The South is on the Clock, presented locally by Cadillac.
Okay, we'll get started. Obviously, we all know the importance of this pick.
We need to have a great draft, and it starts with our first pick at number 4. So let's get this right.
We've just been through the NHL Combine in Toronto where we interviewed, you know, close to 70 players. At this point in time now, we're sitting down and kind of going through our list and trying to rank the players in the order that we think they belong. And it's pretty important to the future of the organization.
Put Jones, McKinnon, Drouin, Barkov, and I'll put those 4 guys up there. You know, that's our first meeting where we get everybody together. It's a good week. You know, you're there for 4 or 5 days in Nashville. We have all the resources that we need.
So we've got to go through the exercise in case anything happens. In other words, we're given an opportunity to move up for whatever reason, or, I mean, maybe we go back one.
If Colorado takes the player in front of us that we wanted really badly, well, then we have to be ready for that. We've already gone through those scenarios.
You can stare at those things every day and change the order if you really want to. But we're pretty set ourselves. We're pretty set. We know, we've discussed all the different options of trading up, trading down.
When you're drafting 20 or 30, it's, you know, you've got 4 or 5 guys in an area. So that's how you talk in terms of 4 or 5 guys, maybe 2 or 3 guys, if you can narrow it down to that. Here, our job is we got to get them in the right order.
You know, if you had the number 1 pick, it would be, you know, the best forward would be Nate McKinnon and the best defenseman would be Seth Jones.
Seth Jones is the best player in the draft. So if we're not going to deviate away from that.
You know, obviously some guys you're more passionate about than others. You might argue a little harder for, but at the end of the day, it's good, healthy discussion. I mean, like I said, this is not an easy job.
After 1, 2, anybody can drop to 5. So you guys, you really have to zero in on this decision.
That brings us to Barkov. You wonder how much better this guy can get.
And McKinnon is the game breaker with his explosiveness.
Drouin is a big game guy, steps up in the big games and delivers.
Drouin is the most dynamic offensive talent in the draft.
Why is it that when you hear the media talk, or, you know, people talk about these players that you don't hear as much about Lindholm as you do about maybe the other 3 or 4 guys.
The line is pretty thin with these guys, and Lindholm is a more versatile guy. He can play 2 positions. I don't know whether Drouin could play center, but he's a winger. He's played the wing, and that's where he's been.
Well, the analytics are their reference point. We're certainly going to go with the guys that see them all the time. There is a gut feeling at some point in time about certain players.
We've been able to make a case for moving Lindholm in front of Drouin at this point in time.
Okay, that's our top 4. What's the correct order for the top 4? Get the first 4 players correct, and who's ever there, whether it's our first player, our second player, our third player, or our 4th rated player, we're getting one of those 4 guys. Get your arms around that, get comfortable, everybody on board, is it unanimous? And that's how we do it.
Up next, the NHL's 30 teams and this year's top prospects arrive in New Jersey for the 2013 draft.
Definitely been building up, the expectation and the excitement.
It started to kick into you. That's going to happen soon.
Welcome back to Driven 2013 NHL Draft. The South is on the clock. Presented locally by Cadillac.
It's a very good feeling be one of these guys and be here in New Jersey and New York.
No, it's definitely flattering to have all this attention. It's been a great few days here in New York. I'm glad I got here a few days early for the draft.
Definitely been building up, the expectation and the excitement has been building up for quite some time now, and I'm just happy that it's finally here.
It started to kick into you. That's going to happen soon, and obviously it's going to be a great time for us.
My main goal is NHL. It has always been NHL, and it's now very near.
It's all up in the air right now. It's all speculation. So, whether I do go first or I go anywhere, I'm going to be the same player coming out of the draft.
Leading up to the draft, we'll arrive in New Jersey a couple days before the actual draft.
Once we get to New Jersey, it'll start to get more exciting.
We want to give everybody one last opportunity to take a look at the board, to have some second thoughts or some third thoughts, and just discuss the players again.
Not a lot of sleep in those preceding days because your mind is going a million miles an hour.
We'll re-interview roughly 10 to 20 more prospects.
I've said it before, especially next year, I don't want to just kind of hang on and play in the NHL. I'd like to make a difference right away.
I have played 2 years already in Finnish Elite League on high level, and I done well. So
very well.
Yes, very well.
We're ready as far as our draft list is concerned, but other teams might come in and make us a deal we can't refuse, and then we've got to look at that to see if it benefits us long term.
As prepared as you think you are, always things get thrown at you.
I'm listening to you guys, and I'm saying to myself, this is a flyer that you take in the 6th or 7th round, not in the 4th round.
No, but that's what we have. That's what we have.
Okay, so we've moved them down.
We've moved them to yeah. At that point in time, that's really the work that we're doing, just going through scenarios, going through different things that can happen, because like I said, when it does happen that quickly on the floor, you have to be ready to react.
Teams are trying to take advantage of you sometimes. They think they might get lucky in a deal, and I was born at night, but not last night.
It's very exciting, and I'm not a player anymore, but this is an important day for us, and an exciting part of the job, a fun part of the job.
It has a lot of energy and a lot of enthusiasm and a lot of hope, you know, and it's really fun.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 2013 NHL Entry Draft from the Prudential Center in Newark. The Colorado Avalanche have the first overall pick. Then the South is on the clock as the Florida Panthers, Tampa Bay Lightning, Nashville Predators, and the Carolina Hurricanes have picks 2, 3, 4, and 5, respectively.
Patrick,
good to see you.
Congratulations.
Goalie to goalie, that's perfect.
And good luck to you. Good luck.
Doesn't matter how many years I've done this, still get nervous.
30 general managers on the floor, so let the fun begin.
Did Dale tell you anything when you talked?
Nothing. He said he's waiting to see if they're bluffing Colorado. Which
okay. Well, why don't we look at each other after the Colorado makes their move, and we'll go from there. Okay.
I've talked to Steve a couple of times, and last night he told me he didn't want to move further than 5 if he moved. Then I got here today and he told me he wouldn't move further than 4.
I expect the Carolina Hurricanes to be among the more active.
Do you have any interest in going from 7 to 5? We'll decide as we get closer, but let me know before we get too close. I wouldn't trade it outright. So let me ask our guys. If we do, I'll give you a call. You're at 23, right?
The first selection of the 2013 National Hockey League Draft belongs to the Colorado Avalanche.
They're not going to take a lot of time to get up there.
Colorado Avalanche are proud to select with our first pick from the Halifax Mooseheads, Nathan MacKinnon.
So here's Dale Talon now, and the Florida Panthers with the number 2 pick.
I can tell you the Panthers are debating all 3 players of the big 4 that are still available. Jonathan Drouin, Finnish center Alexander Barkov, and Seth Jones.
The Florida Panthers are proud to select from Tampere, Finland, Alexander Barkov.
9th in the Finnish Elite League in scoring over the course of the year. The scouts I talked to and the survey of scouts I talked to, he was voted the most complete player available in this draft.
Steve Yzerman of the Tampa Bay Lightning have the 3rd overall pick in this draft, and Yzerman on the phone. Yzerman was canvassing people on the floor before this draft, wondering who Florida would take.
Let me just talk for a second. I think we're good on that. That's good. He just said, well, he didn't. So he says he would flip. He didn't give a price, but I don't think there's any reason to do it.
No, there isn't.
No.
We don't need to give up the asset. Now we know what we're getting.
Yeah.
With the 3rd pick, Tampa selects from Halifax, Jonathan Drouin.
Well, if you want to see offensive hockey, just watch Tampa Bay next year. With Steven Stamkos, Marty St. Louis, I got to believe this young man's going to make their team. He's a human highlight, really is.
If you had said 3 months ago that Seth Jones wouldn't go in the top 3 in the first round, no one would have believed you. It's a stunning result so far. Jones has to wait, and the Nashville Predators are next up.
Driven 2013 NHL Draft. The South is on the clock is presented locally by Cadillac. The all-new Cadillac ATS, setting the standard in every corner on Earth. Welcome back to Driven 2013 NHL Draft. The South is on the clock, presented locally by Cadillac.
Next up at the 2013 National Hockey League Draft, the Nashville Predators will pick 4th overall.
Okay, boys. We got ourselves a defenseman.
The Nashville Predators are very proud to select from the Portland Winterhawks, Seth Jones.
When you win by just sitting in your chair, that's a pretty good thing.
This is a heist. This is amazing. I want to do tons of Nashville games because this man is now part of their group.
I think we're picking.
So the Hurricanes are sitting in the 5 spot, but this is the pick that most people thought of all the ones in the top 10, Bob, was the most likely to move.
It's the guy we wanted. going to get your wish.
Go well.
With the 5th pick in this year's draft, the Carolina Hurricanes are proud to select from Brynäs, Sweden, Elias Lindholm.
He's a complete player, as complete a player you can be as an 18-year-old. I like this pick for Carolina because you don't find complete players so often.
Looks
Thank
good
you.
on you.
Yeah.
You like the jersey?
Very much.
Congrats. Thank you, you too.
Yeah, thanks.
What's it mean to you to be going number 3 to Tampa Bay all this way for you?
Obviously, it's great. It's great to be in Tampa Bay. You know, coming out of the draft, you know, top 3. That's probably the team I really like the most. You know, they got great young players and good veterans. So obviously, there's a really good fit for me in there.
I'm very excited to be a part of this organization, and I want to play in this team as soon as possible.
Okay, we're here with Elias Lindholm. Elias, what was it like getting drafted today?
It was an indescribable feeling. You know, I've been nervous all day, and when I heard Carolina scream out my name, it was amazing.
You know, I think you need to build your teams from the goalie on, and Nashville definitely has a goalie piece and a D-core piece, and I think their forwards have a lot of potential, and I think we can definitely be a winning team.
You know, just a proud father, but I can't be any prouder. You know, I'm a Tennessee product myself, so to go back to Nashville, that's pretty cool.
You're going to follow me now over here.
All right.
We're going to take a bunch of stuff here.
Perfect.
Going into next year with a guy like Shea Weber, a guy that every defenseman as a kid looks up to, and he's so smart on the ice, and he's so physical, and his presence on the ice is great, and I've heard about how good of a leader he is, and I'm just going in and trying to learn a lot from him.
They let me know that they are very interested in me and they might pick me, and they did.
I'm ranked by about 5 to 9, so I didn't know what to expect, but it was an amazing feeling when they said Elias Lindholm.
That blue sweater looks pretty good on you. It's been they say there are days that you'll remember forever. What do you think you'll take from this?
So much stuff. You know, when Steve Eisenman hands you that jersey right there, the time with your parents when you're hugging and kissing them, it's just been great.